Hello, I'm Caleb, and I'm here with Old Man Nevitt, and welcome back to Back in the Day Fridays. It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, it has been a while, Caleb. It's been a while since we've done Back in the Day Friday. So if you're just tuning in, first-time viewer, I'm Old Man Nevitt. This is Back in the Day Friday. Back in, 2015, 16, 17, we used to do this show all the time, and we tell kids like you about back in the day artifacts. Been in a little retirement, but we're coming back because, Caleb, are you all right?
It's just been really hot, man.
The hot, you're hot in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's 83 degrees. 83 degrees.
Yeah.
You think that's bad?
Very.
That's Caleb. Come on. What's happened to kids? What's happened to you kids of your generation? Back in my day, we didn't have air. There was no air conditioner went out of school because there was no air conditioner. No air conditioner at all. We just went. We sucked it up. We were tough. We didn't whine. We didn't complain. We didn't have to go outside because it's hot in the building. No, we just sat there. We rolled up the window and we got down to business and we did our work. And that's the way it was. Good girl, you're sweating. You're sweating like crazy, Caleb. Come on. Have you ever been outside in your life?
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on. What's the back in the day item?
All right, the back in the day artifact today. We do have a back in the day artifact that I think will come in just perfect for the time, perfect for what you're going through. What do you think that is?
A blender?
See, that's all you kids today do. You sit inside, you eat your food in your air conditioning, and you don't know about anything. You don't know about anything out there in the world. No, it's not a blender. Try again.
An airplane engine.
Airplane engine. Well, it does have a propeller, so I see how you could. It's got something. I see how you could get those guesses, but no, still not it. Still not it.
How about a saw?
No, it doesn't cut anything. Only thing this guy is going to do is cut through the air. Okay, all right, let's crank this bad boy up. So, what do you think about that? It's a fan.
Oh.
How does that feel? Feel a little bit better?
Oh, it actually feels really good.
Back, yeah. Coming back to reality a little bit, Caleb. Yes, it's a fan. It's a vintage box fan. So we used to have fans like this, when we didn't have air conditioning or didn't have much air conditioning. You'd crank this bad boy up and you're just fine. You didn't need the air conditioner because you had your box fan. Feel how powerful that is. You could lose it. You put a finger in there, you'll lose it. You know what else? Was fun to do with these? Is you come up to them like this. Luke, I am your father. Hear that Darth Vader voice right there? Yeah, cool stuff. So anyway.
Okay, can you please turn it back on?
I can't do it, Caleb. You're going to have to toughen up like we did back in the day because it's too loud for the microphone. So, anyway, like I said, humans have been around for many tens of thousands of years. And you know what? For all but about the last 50 years, we didn't have any air conditioning. And we survived, most of us, to have generation after generation of humans continue. But people have been trying to deal with the heat for a long time. So as far back as we can remember, people have been doing that like you are right there. Like as soon as people invented clothes, I imagine they started this. And then even before recorded human history, the hand fan. You've seen these, I'm sure. You get a little hand fan, you get a little airflow going. So that's something. In ancient Syria, they discovered these double-walled rooms. So there was a space between the rooms that would allow airflow. And, this was a technique that they used really for years and years. Even in this area in Texas, for the first part of the 1900s, there was no air conditioning. And even well into the 1900s, a lot of people didn't have it, couldn't afford it. And so you had, like screened-in porches, and you had houses built to allow the air to flow through. Now we do the opposite. We don't open the windows. We don't have many big windows or open spaces because we want to keep the air conditioning trapped in. And then what happens when it goes out? There's no window to open. There's no airflow going through. And, kids like you can't handle it and are falling apart and suffering. Also, you had in 6th century BC India, you had the punkah, all right? So this was kind of evolution of the hand fan. They would weave like bamboo or palms together and make larger ones. Then, the ancient Chinese, very innovative people. So 2nd century in the Han Dynasty, Ding Huan invented the wheeled fan, so it would have these big wheels, and they would actually use prisoners to turn these large wheels. We don't do that anymore. Cruel and unusual punishment. It's right there in the Bill of Rights. But this was a way to keep people cool. And then later in the Tang Dynasty, in the 6th century and beyond in China, they had these. Are you gonna make it? You breathe. So come on. Take another sip of water. Tough it up. All right. Yeah, that's one way. That's one way to do it. That's another technique people have been using. Even right on top of the head is my favorite on a hot day. Anyway, so these were powered by that a kid. There you go. These were powered by water. So we're actually kind of getting into more modern innovation. And then finally in the 1900s, so in 1902, a guy named Willis H. Carrier. You ever heard of the Carrier Company? It's that you should, because you kids love your air conditioning. Well, this is an air conditioning company still to this day, Carrier Air Conditioning. Well, they needed to find a way to keep the temperature cooler and more humid for this paper company, to make the paper and the ink more consistent. And so he invented a device that could do this. And then later, in 1906, Stuart W. Kramer, he actually coined the term air conditioner, and he developed a device that would keep it cooler and also keep it less humid in his textile company. And so the first air conditioners were really to help business. And then 1931, we developed the first air conditioner, the first window unit. So you used to, back in the day, have window units. You put in the window, pulls in the cool air, does the convection process on it, and boom, out comes in comes the hot air, out comes the cool air into your house. So the H.H. Schultz and J.Q. Sharman were the first people to develop these window units, and then air conditioning starts to spread, especially here in the South, where, as you guys know, it gets a little warm. So the population in Texas between 1950 and 2000, once air conditioning became widespread, actually increased 170%. And a lot of that, was people coming down because, most people were like you kids today. They couldn't hack it down in Texas with no air conditioning. Once the air conditioning was around, everybody wanted to come down and live in our beautiful state. And that's why we got the traffic that we do, and all the problems, and all the people clogging up the roads where I can't get to work anymore without being cut off by 18 people. But that's a topic for a different day. Caleb, thanks for joining us. Let's turn that fan back on so Caleb can make it. Here we go. It's going to be all right, buddy. You're going to make it. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time back in the day.